Good evening, welcome to the ASUS ROG DreamLeague, live from the DreamHack Monster Energy Studios, and we're here, of course, with day 2 of League play. Let's take a look at the teams that we have tonight. So, first series is going to be Na'Vi taking on Basically Unknown. Na'Vi has a double header actually tonight, and Basically Unknown, well, we're just going to hope that they have a bit less shaky draft than they did yesterday. And as our second series, as said, Na'Vi playing again, and this time up against a team that played 4 matches yesterday and came away without a scratch. It is Team Empire, and let's see if Na'Vi can make a dent in their performance, which yesterday seemed very unlikely, but it of course all depends on how Na'Vi plays it. And of course, with me in the studio as well, we have my casters and my co-host. I can say mine, it's all mine apparently.
It's all mine.
So possessive.
Very possessive. But it's of course Owen, Andy, and Shane. How are you doing today?
Right. So I'm a simple guy.
Yes.
I enjoy the simple things in life, and getting mail is definitely one of the simple things. And this morning when I got a little pamphlet that said
I will have to say first, normally if Shane comes down the stairs, he has like his hoodie on, normally the hood up as well. It's like,
I'm not a morning person.
Not a morning person, like actually not. And he looked at the paper and you actually took 10 seconds to realize what it actually was.
But it's not in Swedish, first of all.
Well, but then the rest of your story happened, so.
No, I just got like super excited. I was like, yes, what is it? I kind of knew what it was. But then like my brain tricked itself into thinking that I didn't know what it was. And I got this awesome t-shirt. It's a Pyrian Flax t-shirt, so. Hi. But they should zoom in on it. Look at it.
Who's this wizard?
What do you think of it, Andy?
It's good. It is good. And I miss Ted.
I miss Ted.
You just
too.
made me think about how much I miss Ted now. And that's on you. I just want you to know.
Well, good, Shane. Way to ruin the mood of our commentators.
Unbelievable.
Jeez.
Well, maybe he wore this before he sent
And
it to me.
also,
No,
that self-portrait you did of me was not very flattering at all.
Can I see it?
I look like a Mortal Kombat character.
No, look, I don't know if they can actually see it.
No, there's no way.
Zoom.
Like,
The zoom probably works.
it's like,
Zoom.
I think.
you're going to have to zoom in so far. I'm like,
No, look.
Closer.
Oh, you can see it.
Oh,
Just
that's
barely.
pretty good. So yeah, so as you can see, Andy's got the kind of sexy pose going on, and he's got the V-neck.
Why is his knee so far down? Did you break your leg?
No, he just has this kind of gangster lean.
Why is there such a flat portion in his crotch?
That's a very wide crotch.
Anatomically?
Anatomically, yes.
Anatomically, that just doesn't make sense. I mean, why his legs are so far apart?
Well, Andy, he's got wide crotch syndrome.
He's got wide crotch.
It's a thing. So what he does is, like, usually he has to like clench his butt cheeks really tight, otherwise his legs just are really far apart. it's a thing.
I honestly can't even be mad at that because it's so ridiculous. Like, I don't even know
Get
what to
checked
say.
out now. Wide butt syndrome.
No, you said wide crotch syndrome.
Yeah, well, it has 2 names. It's just the European and American name.
Okay, fair enough.
I'll buy it. Owen, lovely hair today.
Yeah, once again, I decided to let Shane loose. I think he's getting better. Andy doesn't. Andy was like, it looked a lot better yesterday.
That is like straight up flock of
No,
seagulls.
it's
like
after getting worse. You
100%.
need get this side up, the left side.
The
Like,
left side?
Kind of push it up a bit, because
Oh.
it's kind of, no, that's
No,
the right
it's-
side.
That's the right side.
Yeah, the left side, it's losing its shape.
So this is the Wolverine.
This is the Wolverine.
Well, honestly, it's
Yeah,
only...
what was the name yesterday? Because we had the Justin Bieber earlier this week.
that was
already,
the
last
Shane
week.
O'Mad special.
Yesterday.
Shane O'Mad special.
Yeah.
Goodness, I'll never ask
I'm
for that
working up
again.
a portfolio.
You are?
Yeah,
you
so
do.
when-
You know, it's all on camera now as well.
Exactly,
So, you know,
yeah.
next time, you know, DreamLeague comes around, I might not be here, but they'll still need your hairstyling.
Well,
You
that's
know,
not true. It depends on who we get.
If it's
Oh,
like me,
actually,
Shane,
yeah.
and Ted, we don't really need a hairstyle.
You're out of a job.
You have to get the guests with
Yeah,
hair.
true. Or maybe I could do your hair.
Well,
No.
you tried to do 8 Mother's hair,
Yeah, you
right?
did all right, Van Lovers.
I went, Ape Mother, I went for more of a kind of like natural beach look.
He's like, oh God, they remembered me. Why did this happen? Poor guy.
But apart from you being drawn, Andy, you're doing okay.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm looking forward to the games today. I think it should be some pretty solid matches. Second game, I'm really looking forward to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More than the first
Yeah.
game. Priorities, right there. Oh, and
I like
same
good
thing.
Dota.
That's fine.
I'm looking forward to the first game because
Okay.
it's always fun watching Basically Unknown because you got to rise and he's a bit of a character. You know, he's I kind of relate him to that guy. You know, when you go to the bar and there's always a guy who's sitting on his own who's a little bit quiet. You know,
Are you saying
but
Rise
always
is a
kind of-
loner?
I don't
no.
think that-
Hang on, bear with me.
No, wait,
And, you know,
okay.
every now and then he kind of, you know, he jitters and you get, oh, what's up with that guy over there? Something a bit funny with him. And then, you know, suddenly, he just, you know, just after a few weeks of him, it'll just snap and then he'll just smash everyone's head in and they're like, whoa! And then that's a rise for me.
What?
No.
Yeah.
I picture
So he's a
I pic-
psychopath, is what you're saying.
He is
You
literally a
actually just said that
psychopath.
he was a
But in
psychopath.
a nice way. He's a comical. He's a comical psychopath. So when he's smashing your heads in, you're having a good laugh at the same time. You know.
I picture Arise as the same kind of starting to your story.
And he listens
but when
to-
you get to know him, he's really
He
nice.
listens to these really ridiculous
his-
music. He'll be smashing your head into like Puppy Cholo or something. This weird song that he plays, or the Macapa Arena.
So not only is like he has his
He's a
own
legend.
theme song when he's doing it.
Yeah, he's got his own little song.
Oh my
And he's
God.
smiling at the same time. And, he's probably got a drink in his hand, and he's
Slightly
So he's an
maniacal.
alcoholic,
Yes.
he's a psychopath, and
Yes.
he's violent.
and
But he's a great guy.
He's a great Magnus player, and he knows how to do the old Beastmaster as well. Yeah.
I wanna be on what you're on.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Maybe it's the fumes from the hair
fumes from the
dripping.
hairspray. But no, it's good stuff. But no, Arise is a good lad, and I want to see what he does up against the side in Harvey, because obviously they didn't have the best of time yesterday.
No.
The draft was a little bit off. I know we got a little bit offended when I said that before, and I'm sorry, Arise, but you picked Luna against an Undying, and I mean...
No,
even,
you said that was Shacklow's fault.
Well, okay, we're blaming Shashlo for that one, so Shashlo, please, just be careful with the Luna picks. But it was an interesting pick, to say the least, wasn't it, Andy?
Interesting or really, really not great?
No.
Okay, so the 3 ranged heroes.
Yeah.
If they're against Quap Undying, do they still win? Like it goes a little bit better.
The Undying could actually still win that lane.
But
Like-
they have a lot more clicking power for the
Yeah,
tombstone.
but it
that
was
kind of
super
stuff.
obvious they were going to go aggro, and they still
Yeah.
had one more person they were going to pick, and it was a support. And then they
I'm
picked
just
Luna
trying to
into that
defend them.
situation. No, it was really
Oh, yeah,
bad.
I know,
I'm sorry.
I know,
It was just bad.
I
Well,
tried. You
To
tried.
fully grasp what happened yesterday, we have prepared a recap for you to see what indeed happened.
Can we see Empire go again for reinitiation? Cooldown catches the Rubik, and the clock with the Shadow Amulet is going to protect you against the Scream from the Queen of Pain. Dragon Tail onto Silent, Lucid Beam as well, and now in comes Luna with the ultimate. They have managed to find the kill onto the Gyro as well. It's a 2-for-2 trade so far, and now Aloha does. He is all on his own here. Maybe he goes down as well. No, he's got the Tombstone and the backup of Ivan with the Sonic Wave. Triple kill for Aloha does. He's going to find more. Slavy goes down as well. It's an ultra kill.
There's just
He wants to do it. He wants to go with that blink. There we go. Appeal to 3. There's the follow-up. He gets Astral straight away. There's going to be a cooldown in a Tombstone. They do manage to take down the Enigma, but they've lost the Magnus. They've lost the Io, the Tiny, the Banefalls as well. It's only Max staying alive here.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Blink forward from Max. Going to find the Lasso onto Aloha. That's RP onto 2 onto the Lich and to the OD. Can they bring down OD? No, he's kept alive for the Soul Rip. Trying to turn around and fight. There's going to be a cooldown coming down that will catch Solo. No one could silent on the back of this fight. Absolutely destroying the side of Vega. He's found himself a double kill with the Io and the Batrider going down. Tiny will fall as well as the triple kills. We have buyback from Tiny and Io. Rocket Barrage doing a fair bit. He's looking for the easier kill onto Solo, and the black hole holding back your Tiny. This is going to be a dieback on no one on the Tiny. He's down for 75 seconds. GG, well played.
And with yesterday's 2 series out of the way, we can take a closer look at what is happening to the standings. We have only had 4 games total, as in 2 series, so it's not that surprising, the results that we see Empire on top with the 2 teams that they won against on the bottom. But it does give us a chance to see why we see League play, because the bottom 2 are not going to go to DreamHack Summer.
indeed.
Indeed.
Yeah.
And that's going to be interesting to see. Of course, yesterday, and in the clip we just saw as well, Undying in every highlight.
Yeah,
Are we
but
going to
I
see him
think he
banned?
was for that particular day, like yesterday. Undying was kind of the hero, but I think Empire also showed how weak it can be in certain situations. Like for example, they had a game with Ogre support, and they also had Visage, and they picked Undying into that, and they actually dealt with it in an ingenious way because Gyro has already proven to be like the de facto counter to what Undying can do, just by having flat cannon, and how worthless it was against when Silent played it in the second game, I think it was.
Yeah.
But the hero has some inherent strengths and weaknesses. The strength of the hero is going up against really weak supports who don't deal a lot of like high damage at all, like Rubik and Skywrath. When we saw him played against that, he absolutely crushed. And Luna as well, because Luna, while it's a ranged hero, it's not very long range. Like it's kind of a Morphling kind of style hero where it's not really the greatest laner. It's okay if you're up against like a solo off lane or maybe even a dual off lane, but against a tri-lane with Undying, that's the part where he really shines. Because a 3-man decay gives you like 12 strength, and that at the beginning of the game gives you way too much HP to deal with, and you can't ever kill him. So
So do you think the trick is to shut them down at the start to stop them kind of getting them early levels in Tombstone and Decay? Like?
I actually think if you pick Undying and the team actually knows what to do against it, it will backfire very hard.
Yeah, yeah.
And we saw that yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, that's the problem. It's like, in my opinion, you only pick them if the enemy team is picking their supports early, because then it's already decided. Like, that's the most like important part of the laning phase, is what supports you're playing against. Because if you're playing against Rubik and any other squishy support, then yeah, you could probably pick Undying and pressure the lane really hard. But otherwise, it's not good.
Sorry.
Our camera just
Our camera just decided it didn't want to be alive
I saw it
anymore.
halfway and he's like, what happened there? There used to be a camera there. I was thinking maybe it's a red button effect. They're going to come up with a camera. But apparently it just dropped. Okay, that's good to know. No, but yesterday we saw Undying against Lone Druid and Gyrocopter, and we talked about how they are counters of that. And that was basically Vega revealing very early what their kind of strategy was. But it wasn't really the supports that made Undying's life mostly hard in that case.
It was, though, because that lane that they put together, it was a Queen
Right,
Undying
Quap
off
Undying,
lane, right?
yeah.
And Vega had done that before, and they had
True.
great success with it. But Empire understood exactly how to deal with it. Like, that Undying actually got killed by just the supports. Like, the Visage and the Ogre killed him when they contested the pole. Like, you can't ever have an Undying be behind in the laning phase. He's supposed to be the one who gets the advantage and forces the enemy team to look at him so his other heroes can get farmed. But yeah, Empire knew exactly how to deal with it. It was like a terrible pick in that game.
Now, even later on into the game, like maybe when the Tombstone was maxed out, like Ogre and Visage didn't even care about the Tombstone because they had the
they're all
flak.
tanky.
Yeah, they were very tanky, and they had the flak cannon just to destroy all the zombies instantly. So,
Yeah.
like Empire knew exactly what Vega were going to pick. Like, so they first picked the Gyrocopter, and Silent, who's played like a crap ton as Gyrocopter.
Yeah.
They knew exactly what was
The
coming.
Beastmaster was actually more important in that series to me than the Undying, because the team who didn't get first pick always had to ban Beastmaster every single game. And if Undying and Gyro were both left inside of the pool, Empire would just first pick Gyro, and that means that the Undying pick is automatically countered in some way. So they just had like a next level of drafting on Vega at least. So.
Yeah, Owen, what are you expecting for drafts today? Are you expecting to see loads of Undyings, loads of Gyrocopters, or banned all the way?
Oh, pretty much. I think, yeah, you touched on it. We'll see the Undying, the Gyro a lot, and I think, of course, as Andy was saying, the Beastmaster. I'd be very surprised if he's not pretty much in the first phase of picks and bans in definitely the BU matchup, because obviously we know Rise does like to get his hands on the Beastmaster. If he can't get his hands on the Magnus, which I'm sure Na'Vi will probably ban out. Maybe they won't. Maybe we'll see Na'Vi, you know, ready to tackle
Empire
them
did.
with that.
Empire, yeah.
Empire banned both
Yeah,
games.
yes, yeah. So I wonder if Na'Vi will do the same thing today against BU.
I think they will.
Yeah. They
Might
probably,
do so
like, they saw Empire probably beat, or at least maybe they didn't see the games, but at least they saw the drafts. Probably looking up what happened, that they indeed banned the Magnus and that they still won. So probably just going to try to slightly copy them.
Yeah, I mean, obviously when they banned it out, we saw Arise yesterday picked up Zeus and Dragon Knight, which, I mean, obviously very strong heroes, but arguably nowhere near as impactful as the kind of play style Arise likes to go for on his Beastmaster and the Magnus.
Yeah, with this playstyle as well, with Mind Control no longer being a stable member of their team, it is very difficult to, like, normally Mind Control was the hero that went for, or the player that went for the initiations.
And the aggression.
And
as
the
well.
aggression, and now it kind of all comes down to Arise. So yeah, like you say, he does need those type of heroes that can actually initiate.
Yeah, like Mind Control and his Clockwork and his Queen of Pain would always just like completely make havoc in the enemy jungle.
Yep.
Just put so much pressure on the map and allow like Nico and Arise to farm up. So.
Yeah. Anything else we were looking forward to seeing today?
I just want to know if Na'Vi are actually going to play the same style that Empire did. Because Empire actually, their team for me is the ones who always liked to pick those type of heroes. Like, they loved Dragon Knight. We saw Resolution play it a couple of patches ago. They've even played Undying in the past. They like to push. They like to end games. I don't think a single game went over like 35 minutes yesterday.
Yeah.
It's like they just crush every single time.
Yeah.
Do you feel like that was the teams or that's the patch?
Well, it could be the patch too. Like, we talked about the difference in snowballing. Ratting is better now.
Yeah.
So like any time rubber banding is less severe, being able to split push lanes and only getting one hero picked off is always less impactful because you give less away. You know, there's
You
a
can take
lot
more
of
risks. Like.
Yeah, you can take a lot more risk, and I think that really favors Empire because even in those games they were kind of YOLOing at some points. Like when they played Lycan and Silent was off on his own, and they're like, oh yeah, we just get team wiped with an Aegis. It's like whatever, it doesn't even matter. We're still gonna win.
Yeah,
you know?
they had a lot to do with the draft as well.
Yeah.
Like they had faith in their draft and knew that even if they fed a bit, like they always got Roshan as well though. I think Roshan could be key, especially if you're going for these early games. You want to have like the Aegis up on your core and like just push with that.
I think Dire Lycan will probably be making a return, at least for some teams.
And why don't we see more Centaur? We actually saw Centaur banned yesterday in the game. Was quite happy with that. At least, you know...
It's a note.
It's a note. Like, we know this hero can be strong.
I think he's a very situational pick still. I mean, yeah, the Aghanims is really cool. But, I mean, if you think about it, if you're just using it to run away, which a lot of teams actually pick it.
No.
I know, but you pick it to go in.
Yeah.
I get that. But you can also pick it just to run away.
Yeah.
So think about heroes like Medusa, for example, who we were seeing a lot. You would actually pick it to run from a Medusa. You wouldn't pick it to fight into her.
Yeah.
So this just depends on what your draft actually needs. And I feel like Beastmaster in a core role, he fits more lineups than a Centaur does. Like,
And he
because
would fulfill the same type of
Vision is
role?
good for any team.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what you're playing. Vision is always good. So you don't really need to think about picking Centaur unless there's a point where you're like, we need a way to disengage, or we need a way to be able to fight just at any point.
Yeah, you were talking about like so for example, Empire have like the Gyrocopter, they have the the Dragonite, they have a lot of kind of core heroes that have been buffed that they played all the time. But for Navi, you have like Lifestealer, like for Havost.
I still think Lifestealer's crap.
I don't know, 50%, man.
50% lifesteal,
It's not bad.
but it's still crap because he still gets kited by everything. And Beastmaster being picked now, good
What
luck
about
ever picking
what about
that
Into
hero.
Undying? You pick the Lifestealer just to focus down the tombstone.
I guess you could, but you kind of have to kill it in rage. And if
Yeah.
you use your rage to kill the tombstone, then the rest of your team fight, you're going to be spent not hitting anything else. Like, that's the biggest problem I have with him is, like, if you don't kill somebody in rage, like, you need a Storm, you need Bat, or you need
Yeah, you
Centaur.
need a way to close the distance.
Yeah, you need a way to gap close, and he doesn't have it on his own.
Do you know a hero, Owen, that you want to see in? It's not happening yet, but he might have gotten a change. For me, it's Leshrac, but he got banned.
Yeah.
He was banned, yeah.
I mean, I would like to see Legion. You know, I mean, Andrew's talking about how strong it is. Obviously, the Aghanims upgrade isn't ideal, and it's, I'd be very surprised if we ever see a competitive game where Aghanims is built. But I think the Legion as a whole, the way they've reworked the whole kind of lifesteal mechanic means that she's a pretty scary hero, and I've seen her sometimes picked up in the Face It Pro League by some pros. I know, for instance, Mad, he's a big fan of the Legion Commander.
Does he jungle it?
No, he goes solo lane with it. So he normally kind of runs it in like a solo safe lane situation where you've got an aggressive tri-lane going on. And obviously in a patch where we're seeing a lot of aggression coming out and a lot of aggressive tri-lane situations, maybe there is going to be the space for that solo safe lane Legion, perhaps. But I don't know. It's one of those picks that's, I guess, as with a lot of the least favoured heroes, very situational.
I think core Leshrac though could be huge. Like, you have such a low cooldown on your nuke. So even if you don't go safe lane, you can go mid and just like completely nuke out the creep wave. You can have total lane control. Like, it does so much damage early game, and that slow allows you to nearly always hit your stun as well.
Yeah, Lesh for me is kind of if you don't have a good early game, you're just going to feed. You know?
Yeah.
Like, you have terrible strength game on that hero.
Yeah,
We saw him first banned yesterday, though. I think 2 of the games.
I think if you're going to see Lesh, you're going to see it with DK, and it's going to be support Lesh. That's what I think.
Okay.
It's sad, but probably the truth.
Do you not think if you get the early Bloodstone though, like you get a really, really early Bloodstone on him, he has enough tank ability to kind of...
I mean, you could probably build a lineup around farming Lesh.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's impossible. I just think that it's like the main reason that I would want to pick Lesh nowadays is because Edict is good. And you can transition still into some hero who has a decent amount of farm. Like, you can play like a 3 Lesh or something like that. And you just use Edict and like DK, for example, to melt buildings. And it's really hard for a team to stop that. Because if you're trying to split push against it, the DK and the Lesh will always push faster. And then, like, I don't know. I think it can be good, but I don't know if they're going to play it as a core.
Well, it's time for predictions. I want to know what you think. Basically, I know Navi Empire.
Basically, a no Navi will be 2-0 Navi, I think. And then the second series between Empire will be 1-1. So same thing as yesterday, but I really think I think it's going to be closer for Navi and Empire than yesterday when we saw Vega and Empire.
Okay, Owen?
I'm feeling a little bit of an unpredictability coming out in the first one. I think basically I might be able to take one game against Navi, but then I really feel that Empire, just their play style that we've seen yesterday, I think they'll take it 2-0. So I just think just for that little chance that, Arise might get that hero he's after, or, the team starts to come together. Obviously, we saw them using 2 stand-ins for the majority of the second game and half of the first game yesterday. So
They'll still have a stand-in today.
they'll still have one stand-in.
Yeah, but I don't know if it's going to be 2.
Yeah, I don't know if it'll be Shashlo
Yeah,
or
Pure
Slavi.
Evil played, but it looked like he had like
So
connection
maybe
issues.
Pure,
Yeah.
and it is a bit of a hit because obviously the Pure Evil, Shtaman and support combo is really strong. We've seen it in the past, so hopefully they're going to have more of a full roster. But I'm going to go with, I think they'll take a game against the side of Navi.
Okay, well, that is good to know, but for now, we've heard enough of you two, so it's time for our weekly guest. And with us back in the studio, it is Ape Mother. Welcome back.
Hi.
I love your
Thanks.
hair.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Thank you.
Did a professional do that? Did he?
Yeah, I think so. He's some kind of professional at least. So.
It just looks like it did when it came in. Let's be honest. I don't even know.
No, it did not.
No? Does it look better or worse?
It looks better, I think.
From
But
what
it's-
point?
From when you came to the studio.
Oh,
So
really?
I think so.
Shots fired. I actually did it on my hair at home. So.
Oh.
Sorry.
Well, you're not a professional, so
Exactly.
I have to give some credit to Shane, you know, otherwise
Yeah,
we
I like
just
this
criticize
kind
her.
of beach look, you know.
It is a beachy look. Yeah, it's very wild. So today we've got two series, basically Unknown versus Na'Vi first. What are your expectations there?
I think Navi's gonna 2-0.
Okay.
Basically, I know with the new roster and stuff like that. So, and they looked kind of shaky yesterday. So
They did look kind of shaky.
do you think they'll ban Magnus? Like every other team seems
yeah,
to?
I think so.
Yeah, like if you're against a
It's
team
such a
like that.
core hero
Exactly, yeah.
for Rise.
Yeah. You don't
There's no
want to take
reason
the
not
risk.
to. Like,
What do you think for basically Unknown is the most important thing to do there in the game? Like, is there a certain player they need to shut down? Is there certain emphasis on certain lanes that they need to try and get right?
yeah, for sure. I think they need to try to win lanes and take the gear from there.
Okay,
And
so
not
actually
like
mid lanes.
if they let Vost free farm, whatever, it's gonna be a rough game. I think.
Do you think the life stealer could be a thing?
Maybe if you get the Beastmaster, you can use it.
Yeah, just for
But
the.
the other way around, I think it's kind of useless.
Yeah. Okay, I might have knocked over a cup. Nobody.
Only a small amount of water. It's fine.
It's good for the floor. It keeps it moist.
yeah,
And
there's no electricity involved in the button, so
no,
that's good.
it's actually there isn't.
Yeah.
Very nice, professional.
Yeah, hair and not spilling water. They're my two talents.
Most professional chain.
Thank you.
Very solid. So for basically Unknown, do you feel like they only have a chance if they get their hands on the Magnus? Is that kind of what we're looking at here?
It's.
Or do you not give them any chance at all?
I don't think you give them a chance. Like
Oh, wow.
if a hero.
Oh, you mean to give them a
as
chance
in-
to Magnus?
No,
Or-
if you're Navi, you don't give them a chance to pick them.
Oh, like that.
yeah. Not like.
I mean, like,
no,
you not give them a chance
obviously
to
they
win.
have a chance. But, like it's Dota. Like anything can happen realistically, and especially when
Yeah.
Navi haven't really played that many competitive
Especially with the new patch as well.
Exactly,
Like
yeah.
anything could happen. I just give
games. The edge.
the edge to Navi, like strongly.
So this is their picks in 6.83. Some of them, like Zeus, for example, still really, really potent.
Yeah, for sure.
And then Navi, okay.
You know, for Na'Vi, I mean, right now this is going to be their first series on the new patch.
Yes.
Are there any heroes that are like, you know, we used to see of those loads on
that's what I said-
gyrocopter?
That's why I said Lifestealer and Jericho.
Lifestealer as well, same story. Like any of those kind of heroes. I mean, Dendi Invoker might be making a comeback.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Pretty strong.
Did
to be
Pudge get a buff? Damn.
No.
Yeah, the Drot buff.
Did he?
Yeah, it's more slow now.
Is it worth it?
And the Glimmer Cape.
The Glimmer. Oh, don't even talk
Oh.
about Pudge Glimmer Clip. That's
Let's
scary.
get a Glimmer Cape.
It's Glimmer Cape, Rot, and Ulti, and then they're like,
You can even just Glimmer Cape and move and hook.
yeah,
That works too. Like, yeah, it's pretty legit.
it's pretty good. He
So-
has some
It
man
actually
problems
is.
though, so
Yeah, Soul Ring maybe.
at least.
Mangoes,
least, yeah.
dude.
Let's buy 2 mangoes every time we leave the base. It's like,
300 gold.
Make
No
your
problem.
supports buy mangoes for you and force feed you mangoes.
Doesn't Pudge only eat meat though? Isn't that a thing? Because he's a butcher. He says, "Ooh, fresh meat."
Yeah, I guess so. But
Yeah.
at the same time,
He's like, "No
actually
mangoes."
not like he's made like he used to be like a patchwork, right? He got put together. He doesn't actually eat.
No, he just doesn't he have holes in him? Isn't he just like
Yeah, because he's put together by different parts from different people,
really?
right? That's why he was called. That's why I know the one. He was patchwork because
yeah.
he was patched up by
yeah,
someone
okay.
else.
Yeah, it was the abomination.
Yeah.
Yeah, by a
From-
necrolite, if I'm correct, but I might be entirely wrong.
Well, we'll just say you're correct for the sake of it. Necrolite made Pudge. Shiva Gaming.
That lore though. Yeah.
No, I probably am
Confirmed.
wrong. I'm probably wrong. Don't. Yeah.
What other heroes is there that Navi played a lot? Like I think Invoker is probably Dendi's. Like he's kind of
Yeah.
known for it. Like
Yeah.
let's be honest.
OD is gonna
Yeah,
do a comeback
OD.
as well.
Did you see there was a Reddit thread this morning about OD? Yeah.
Phonic Clinks
Yeah.
used to be like.
That was when he played for Empire.
When he
though.
was still in Empire, that
Yeah.
was the reason why Empire was actually doing really well in December 2011, 2012, I should say.
Holy crap, that's a long time ago.
Yes, and then he got then he swapped teams. Sounds very nice. They swapped teams to Na'Vi, and ever since, like, Empire at that point went a little bit downhill. Although right now they're fully back. by the way.
Darkseer as well, actually. Darkseer is a big one. Because Funny played a lot of Darkseer for a while there.
Yeah.
But do you think that the changes to Darkseer are enough to make him...
What did he change for Doxy?
They increased the duration of Iron Shell.
Oh, yeah.
And his ulti has 45-second duration at all levels.
Yeah, it's a pretty big change, actually.
Yeah.
And it's a good hero in some cases, but it's so...
Kind of situational.
Yeah, situational. A lot of heroes in this patch are really situational, I think.
Okay, against basically Unknown, who kind of favored their melee core.
Yeah,
You know, a hero like Darkseer could be
and
pretty
here like
Yeah.
Klings as well.
Exactly, yeah.
Same story.
Especially if you pick like weak laners, you can do like a Darkseer dual lane maybe, or it just pressures you so much if you have weak lanes,
Yeah.
Yeah,
especially a weak safe lane.
we yesterday saw a game with the Weaver, and now there used to be a period in Dota where Weaver was picked up a
I
lot,
wasn't
and I don't
sold.
think are we going to see Weaver again anytime soon? You think? Because I mean, he
Okay, well, yesterday every game was over in 35 minutes.
yes, and,
And
then
Weaver-
Weaver peaks like
He barely has his Desolator,
Yeah.
and maybe like Lincoln's at that stage. Like, that's
Yeah.
just...
You need to have like kind of a, you know, the three-ant lineup where you hold towers all the time
Yeah.
and like create space for the Weaver to actually do something in the game.
so
He needs to
basically you
get
need to
really-
delay the game.
Yeah, delay the game and like get the Weaver big so we can actually split push.
We have been seeing a lot less Treant, though, as well. Like, since the patch.
Yeah.
People just
He
kind
didn't
of...
get a buff anymore.
Yeah, people just kind of
forgot him.
forgot about him, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like all about this, yeah, like face rushing and snowballing over you.
Treant doesn't do that great against that, really.
It's a lot of heroes that remove living armor as well, like the gyrocopter and
Yeah, true.
stuff like that. So
I think OD might be on his way back, though.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know how viable the Agya is, but it could be good. Like
No, basically, he can ulti you with Aghanims,
yeah.
and then you can just blink away.
Yeah. Before Ravage hit, before anything.
Before
hits.
anything.
Yeah,
so you
no.
just shift Q.
yeah.
So it's kind of like...
It doesn't really. It doesn't really allow as a setup.
You can use it with
Mostly.
Disruptor though.
True, yeah, and he kind of
Yes.
like
You can set
really
up for-
fast damage over
If you have
time
like a
slots.
blink Agya, you can blink in and then Disruptor ulti on the thing,
True,
You can set up for a lot of.
which is pretty good. But
you
it's
can set
like,
up for a black hole.
yeah.
but you're not gonna let that happen if you're the team. I feel like
No, you're not like that's.
you need, yeah, I don't know. It's hard to
It's kind of instant though. So for like heroes like Magnus, that kind of stuff, you have a kind of reaction
Yeah.
time, whereas OD is just like bang.
Yeah.
So there, it is kind of like a faster way of finishing, maybe.
Could
But-
work, could be viable. Need to try it out.
Yeah.
See how it
All
works.
kinds of synergies, new synergies
Yeah.
possible. Kind of the hero that we haven't seen of that much anymore. I mean, we did see an Axe yesterday. I think he lost. So,
Yeah.
and Axe actually, like the nerfs to Axe weren't that big.
Well.
it was one like the most important one for me was like the reaction time.
Oh yeah, Shiver,
like-
you told me go
Yeah,
on.
because
Let's hear
it's
it.
not my own piece of knowledge, but I will say it anyways. I got it from Slasher last week. So the cast point time of the Berserker's Call is 0.1 seconds shorter. Longer, rather.
Longer, yeah.
Longer.
So it went from 0.3 to 0.4.
Yeah.
And the reason why that is super important is that on average, a human being reaction time is 0.3 seconds. So should you be awake at the keyboard, you should, in theory, be able to walk away from the call.
Or at least react in
Or
If you can
reacting
blink-
time, double click blink. You should be
Yeah.
able, in theory, to blink away in time
Yeah.
before the call actually hits.
Yeah, it's huge. Because there was a few games where we saw the axe and people would just blink away.
Yeah.
When you,
And
and the
if you already-
Dragonite stun or in instant stuns are
If you
very
already,
potent.
it used to be that if you stood too close together, Axe could just blink in and like at the perfect position to get as many people as you want, even if you were standing at the edge. But now, if you're standing at the edge, you should be able to walk away from the Berserker's Call range as well.
Yeah, it's huge actually.
Yeah, it's pretty big change. I don't think Axe is that good against Beastmaster.
Mm.
Because he
And,
relies on using the blink dagger to get
yeah.
in the
Yeah.
fight and get a kill. And if you have bird up, there's no way to get in without smoke or invest. So
A lot of melee cores as well are just really, really weak. We saw
Yeah.
yesterday it was there was a Beastmaster against which melee? It was Axe actually.
yeah, it was
So it was
like,
Axe,
was
and
Axe.
Axe was trying to gank, and there was just a boar on him constantly, and it's just like what
you
can
can't do anything.
What can you do against Beastmaster? Like overall, enemy team picks Beastmaster. What do you do?
I think Clockwork is pretty good. Because you can remove the
Okay.
birds with the flare,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and you can just isolate them with the hook as well. It's decent.
And it's a long range initiation that a hawk might not be able to scout out
Yeah.
in theory.
That's true, but you can also say the other way around, like the hawk can always scout the Clockwork as well.
Kind of, but you
Yeah.
wanna like snipe hawks right and left with the flare, but it's not reliable in any way, I guess.
Yeah.
Same
What
way.
about like something like Venge? That'd be pretty decent with the Hell.
Yeah, it's okay, but it's such a long cooldown.
True. So basically, kill the hawk is the number one way to.
Yeah, I think that's one way you have to deal with the Beastmaster is kill the Hawk all the time.
Could you say that vision, like wards, might be even more important because you need to have wards to basically see the Hawk?
Yeah.
So like vision is probably.
But you can just run the Hawk around the wards if you know where they are as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like,
Run it around the
how do you
popular
actually counter the
places.
Hawk? It's like,
I don't even know.
3 lines. Shane, I'm gonna give you a box. It's that time of the show.
Well, I might have hair gel all over my hands.
It's not good. In that case,
No,
don't
no,
touch.
no, I don't.
Okay, because don't touch the graphics
he's
card,
a
that's
professional,
okay.
don't worry.
Yeah, I'm a professional. I know what I'm doing.
Okay.
Will I put it in my waters?
Don't put it on the water either. The thing that he's taken out of the box is a GTX 980, which is a really,
Platinum.
really powerful graphics card.
Platinum.
And you
Wait,
can win the graphics
If
card.
it says Poseidon, it should be able to go in the water.
No, let's not try that one.
Does it say waterproof?
It says Poseidon. So,
Oh, yeah.
so if the god of water made it, surely he made it underwater in his home.
Most likely, yes.
Yeah.
Poseidon
so-
can also come out of the water.
Yeah.
He can take on any form he wants.
I think you can easily put it underwater, but you need to dry it a lot before
Yeah.
you use it.
Yeah, let's not give that a try. Okay, so if you want to win the graphics card, you can go to facebook.com/ROG Nordic, and there you vote for your MVP of this week League play. And I said it right again. Gonna get a hang of this at some point. So your MVP, just let us know which one it is, or let ASUS know which one it is in this case, and also put in a motivation of why you think that player has your vote. Why do you think that player is your MVP of this week? So it only has to be for these 4 days of league play. So you have a total of 8 series to think about that. My calculations are on point once again.
It's really amazing, Shiver. Like sometimes your math skills just like blow me away. Don't say that. I made a bad pun.
So we're waiting for the game to get on the way. We're slightly delayed because we're waiting for the last one of the Dire team, which I don't see. Is it that right now?
It is Havost.
Okay, we're waiting for Vost. So once he's there, we can actually start the game, which is going to be, of course, Na'Vi versus Basically Unknown. Before we head into that, any predictions? What do we think it's going to be?
It's going to be Dota.
I think after Basically Unknown's performance yesterday, you'd kind of have to be crazy not to favor Na'Vi
2-0.
2-0.
I think 2-0 as well. I think the new roster is looking pretty shaky. So.
Yeah.
And I think without mind control, they don't really have that kind of
The next,
Control?
consistency or, leadership.
Yeah.
I like the attempt at a pun.
Yeah, and you just completely shut me down. You're like, not today, Shane. I'm sick of this.
No, but their drafts did look really shaky, and it's kind of worrisome as well. I mean, they just made it into league play, and yesterday's games already were. It was just
It's a
not
huge
great.
risk, isn't it?
Yeah,
It really
and it's such a big difference. Okay, swapping out a player is fine, but swapping out and your drafter and your in-game captain at the same time—that's the same person.
Yeah.
And your MVP.
And your
Yeah.
MVP, I guess. Yeah, because he was the playmaker.
Yeah, I think he was the best player in that team.
Like every game we watched, we always said mind control did,
yeah,
did
when
this
he got his
amazing.
clockwork,
Yeah,
amazing
the
plays.
Quap as well.
Yeah,
It was just
I agree.
okay.
a lot of.
I'm really excited to see Na'Vi play in this budget.
Yes.
I want to see Invoker, and I want to see.
Pudge?
Yeah, obviously. we
Hey,
wanna see
come on,
Pudge.
you gotta hope for it. Like
I
it's
agree. Yeah.
probably these games. Maybe the first game is one of the first games that we might be able to see. It's like it's new, you know. It's fresh. Nobody is expecting it apart from me. Hereby called it. No, but yeah, it's definitely a hero that I think could be making appearance in league play. Maybe later on.
Yeah.
Maybe once they're quite comfortable with their placing on the board, they're gonna give it a go.
Yeah, I think it could be viable for sure as well.
I mean, you got a
Pudge.
buff.
Yeah, but I
I-
think you want to play it offlane with like an Earthshaker
Oh.
or
Or do the mid pole thing. Like some of the poles you can
but
do
that's a
neutral
more a
creeps.
support role, right?
Yeah, but you can get
Yeah.
a lot of farm from nothing.
Yeah, I don't think is that really like intended.
No.
If they see people doing that, they're gonna fix it. I think
Yeah, but even if you're
You can't. How can you fix that?
if you're radiant,
you can make the hook not hit neutrals, I guess.
No, but that's going to be actually a bit of a buff at some point.
Yeah,
as
but
well.
like normal
that'll be
creep will not-
huge.
because
actually.
then Chen can't block hooks anymore.
and like
That's true.
and like you could just put so only neutral creeps.
Yeah, that's what I think. But I can't say anything.
No,
But
because
I mean,
if
just
you can still hook your own creeps, then you can just hook your own creep to the camp, and you can still pull that way.
I don't think you can do that.
Yes, you can.
Yeah,
Are you sure?
that's how you do it.
Because then you
Really?
you pull
You
your
can-
creeps to the camp, you get attacked by the camp, and the creep thinks, "Oh my God, my hero is getting attacked. I have to defend him." And
you
then
can
he comes
do it.
with
You
all
can
his
do it
friends.
2 ways. Yeah,
What I've seen, they've hooked the big creep
big
out
creep.
of camp, out
That
into
can
the mid
work
lane.
too.
And then he just hits you and
You
you
can
run to
do
the
it.
wing.
You can do it in like so many ways. As well.
Yes, yeah.
Well, I think that if we are going to see a punch, it might be a last pick because you don't want to reveal that. And so far, we're not there yet, but we are in the draft. So it is time for our first game, basically unknown, taking on Na'Vi with OD picks.